Jennifer. Hello there. Good evening. Hi, Janet. Have you got your alcohol? Good evening, everybody. I hope you're all well. Hello, Pat. I loved your piece today, Pat. Hello there, Jennifer. Good evening, Neat. How are you? Hi, Lucy. Hello there. How are you, Flower? Good evening, everybody. Hi, Dawn. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. Are you? I'm just going to go back out and come back in again because my iPad's playing up a little bit, which is just standard if you're doing a live, so nothing new there. There we go, a little bit better now. Good evening, Louise. Hello there. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Susan. Hello, Tracy. How are you? Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Hello, Sue. How are you, Flower? Long time no see. Hello, Fiona. Hello there. I've got a creaky chair. I'm sorry, and I can't sit still. No problem, Susan. Enjoy your evening meal. Enjoy your meal. Hello, Elizabeth. Good evening, everybody. Are you just watching tonight, Lorraine? I don't blame you. I know. I like to tease. I like to tease Janet Diane. Oh, thanks, James. Enjoy your dinner. I've just got home from work. Should have finished at 3. Didn't finish until 5:30. Wow, I'm not surprised you're tired, Sarah. A nice drink now. Hey, Cheryl. Hello there. Oh, I've had the day from... So, oh, bless Miriam. Sending hugs, Miriam. Oh, brilliant, Neat. Thank you. Hi, Penny. Hi, Shabnese. Hello, Inga. Hello there. How is everybody? Hello, Charlie. Hello there. Hi, Lucy again. I just said that on purpose because you said hello to Miriam. Hi, Janice. Don't start Tracy off again. Already. I already said it was Tuesday instead of Wednesday. There's no hope. Hello, Chris. How are you? No problem, Sheila. Catch you later. No problem, Leslie. You enjoy your evening meal. Hi, Catherine. Hello there. Have you got your fur babies? And Pauline's just watching too. Hello, Serena. Hi, Karen. Anyone want to cook my tea? No thanks, Sarah. I'm hoping my hubby will do mine. I don't like cooking. The only thing I can cook is something on paper. That's it. Don't ask me to cook. Hi, Sue. Can't cook for toffee. Hi, Teresa. Hello there. A live craft session. Let's see how good it turns out. Good evening, Gina. How are you? Hi, Sue. I'm very well. It's not too bad, my wrist isn't. As long as I don't do too much, it's absolutely fine. When I do too much, it aches, but that's okay. It's Wednesday, Diane. And I said it was Tuesday. Hello, Rizwana. Hello there. Hi, Yvonne. Tired, 6 a.m. start. Yes, I'd be tired as well. Hello, Carolyn. I put that it was Tuesday, Janet. On my post, I said, do you want a Facebook Live tonight, Tuesday? And it's actually Wednesday. Hi, Hope. I've burnt water before. That's as bad as my cooking. I can burn anything. Oh, I've got a poorly fur baby. Just picked her up from the vets. Oh, bless Jenny. I hope she's going to be all right. Well, I've got a little sneak peek of me washi. Crystal's already on my lap, ready. Usually 1 hour trip home. So far taken us 3 hours. Oh no, Valerie, that's a nightmare. Hi, Tracy. Hello there. Had tea early so I could craft along. Brilliant, Tracy. I only saw Facebook Live. Thank goodness, Janet, because I put the wrong date, because you can always rely on me. So the whole point of this evening's Facebook Live is, one, just to check in and see how you all are. Hello, Laura from Canada. Hello there. Just past 11 Alberta time. I just think it's brilliant how Laura's here from Alberta. I think that's fab. Supposed to be clubs night, but I got my flu injection today. Ooh. Do you know, I keep wondering whether to have a flu injection. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Sarah. Oh, sorry to hear that, Sarah. I thought it was Tuesday as well, Lynn, so don't worry about it. I'm useless. I cannot tell you what day it is. So the idea of the Facebook Live really today is to check in with you all, just to see how you all are. We're in another lockdown, so I wanted to make sure you were all okay and keeping well. Totally surprised. Don't know you was doing a live tonight. Was busy crafting and came to turn my alarm off when I saw a notification. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Carolyn, for you. Hi, Sheila. Hello there. Yes, you should have a flu injection, should I? The time is just racing, isn't it, Chris? I just cannot believe where the time is going. I can't believe that we've got our workshop this Friday. I mean, where's that time gone? Been making bird Christmas cards. Hubby crept up behind me and said, here's an early Christmas present. 3 versified. Hey, we like them kind of husbands, Lucy. We like them kind of hubbies. Hi, Flower. Hi, June. I've been thinking it's Thursday all day. Listen, don't confuse me. Just keep reminding me it's Wednesday, or else I'm just going to be in a right mess when it gets to the workshop. It's Thursday morning here. Oh, for goodness sake. It's so confusing. It's Thursday morning for Cheryl. Oh, God, I can fussy cut while watching. Brilliant. Long time no see. Hello, Sue. How are you? Busy at work? Oh, bless. Right, well, I just wanted to check in with you all just to see that you were all okay and you're all keeping safe. Do not tell me it's Friday, Jane, please. So what I wanted to do was just give you a few ideas with your stamps. Now, I'm going to create this card this evening, but I thought I wanted to give you another idea. If you've got the bird stamps, I was thinking if you've got any of the old cotton spools. Hello there, Madeline. Hello. Oh, and Lucy's fussy cutting as well. So it was just to give you a couple of ideas tonight. But another idea I'm playing with. Yes, that's a sneaky peek of the one of the washi tapes. Hello, Ali. Hello there. So no idea what it is, as long as we're all open. All right. Oh, bless. So I was thinking that I'm just playing with this idea as well. Just playing with the idea of using the birds on some vintage spools. So I thought that was quite a novel idea, and I thought I might play with it a bit more and I can add it to one of these trays and maybe put a cage over the top or something. So I was thinking that's quite a novel idea. It's still drying, so it's still got a bit of glue, but I'm just trying to give you a few little ideas just so that you can do something different with your stamps. That's the whole point of this Facebook Live, is to give you some ideas just so that you, you know, you've got some clues of where to go with your stamps, just to give you some ideas. One of the washi tapes, how many are there? I have 6 washi tapes. I have 6 washi tapes, and I'm not supposed to show any, but he's one of them. He's one of them. Don't tell Abs. He won't know if you don't tell him that I've just shown one, so don't tell him. This is one of them. So don't tell him I've shown you. But what I was thinking was, if you haven't got the trays, what you could do is, how about placing the bird in a sardine tin as well? You could place it in a sardine tin or a tuna tin, just to give you some ideas. So you could rusty this up. Just so it gives you some different ideas. And then you could put the washi tape round the outside, or you could stamp round the outside as well. I know, don't tell Abs, just pretend I didn't show you. Leslie says, I know what I want before I see them. Oh, bless. So it just gives you an idea what to do with the stamps. And I'm going to, and let me just show you one. He's one of my other washi tapes. Luke, don't tell Abs I've shown you. I'll show you the rest next week. He's one of the others. I haven't shown you though, okay? But I haven't shown you them. So if Abs joins in now, you've not seen him. So don't tell him. So if you've got any cake tins, tuna tins, or anything like that, you could add your bird to that. You could add your bird to a tuna tin, just to give you some different ideas. I'm glad you like the tapes, but I haven't shown you. Facebook just kicked me out. I only went like this, Jennifer. Look, just one. I've got 6 washi tapes, so you've seen 2. So just for Jennifer. So that's just for Jennifer, and I'm super chuffed with them. Super chuffed with them. So what I'm trying to give you is some ideas how you could, exactly, my secret stays safe with you, isn't it, Gina? Of course it is. So I want you to go bin diving and grab some old tins, and you could grab some old spools. What tapes? Exactly, Tracy. I never said anything. I never said anything. But I'm trying to give you some ideas with your things, with your stamp sets. And I don't want you to forget the stamp sets you've already got. So this will be added to this tray like this. Yes, mine's already sanded, Chris. My edges are already sanded, so I'm okay. I'm okay. So you need to sand it. But if you haven't got one of these trays, then you can make your own little box. Make your own little box, and then you can add the birds on the inside, just so it gives you another idea. And yes, the birds... Where's the stamp set gone? Where's the stamp set gone? The washi tape coordinates with this bird as well. With this bird as well. It coordinates. They're mine, Dawn. They're mine. They're my washi tapes, Dawn. Released next week. They're released next week. So, yes, they're released. But I haven't told you that. They're released next week, next Friday. So, just to give you another little idea, if you've got any vintage spools, I'm going to add another bird on the top of this one. And I'm going to make something with this. I'm going to make something with it. So, that just gives you another idea. And what I'm going to do... I love the washi tapes I didn't see. I only showed 2. Shh, don't tell anybody. The dog will get fat as I will feed him more, so I can use the little pat. You see, the little pate dishes are perfect for adding the birds, just to give you another little idea. So it's just to, you know, just to spark your interest, just to get you going. I know some of us are working, but some of us are in lockdown, so we need to keep busy. So if you can use new spools. Just buy a cotton thread. Buy some roll of black cotton, which we use behind our projects anyway. So you could use the cotton from the spool in the background, stick it down, and then you can use the spool. Yes, I did, Linda. To give it more support, I did glue it down, just because I want that to be totally permanent. If it's just on card, then it's just fine as it is. So I did glue it down. I have no more space. I live in a museum already. My cat is only fed according to the tin shape. Oh, what a shame. So the cat's totally confused. Oh, hello, Vanessa. Yes, lockdown again. So we've got to keep each other company. We've got to keep each other going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this card. Nothing complicated, nothing fancy. But hey, a Facebook Live doesn't have to be about ingenious ideas. It can be about just creating a card together. So it's great. And poor Nicola's still off sick. Wishing you all the best, Nicola. Hope everything's still improving for you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this down onto my 6.5 inch by 6.5 inch square card blank. I'm just using some low tack tape. We just went into 3-tier yesterday in Fife. We're in lockdown. We're in lockdown. I can't find the edge of my tape. We're in lockdown. Hi, Tracy. Sauce only just managed to join the party. No, I'm not supposed to be showing them, Mary. I'm not supposed to be showing them. You didn't see them. I'm just showing 2 because if Abs finds me, Abs sees me, he'll kill me. So it's got birds on that one. Let's show there for Mary. And a beetle on that one. And I've got some different kinds as well. So just so you can see. But I did not show them. Just so that nobody sees. I didn't show them. That's just for Mary. Because Mary's only just joined. So that was just for Mary. The card is 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches. So I'm just adding my circular piece just to that square card blank. And I'm just going to mask off the areas just so that when I blend, I don't touch the edges, even though I'm going to add some colour anyway around the edges. So it's not too detrimental, but I'm just masking off the edges. It's better having too many ideas rather than no ideas at all. I want you to have ideas with your stamps, whatever stamps you've got, just so that you use them. That's the most important thing, that you actually use them. And I'm not going to rush this Facebook Live, mainly because I'm half asleep and half awake. He might suspend you. He might suspend you. You need oh yeah, he might suspend me. I might get fired for showing 2 tapes. I could get the sack. What do you think? Just keep it between us. I mean, there's only, how many people? It's all right. There's only 100. Is there 100? There's only 109. Nobody'll tell. Nobody'll tell. So what I've got here is I've got peeled paint, Distress Oxide ink. I have no ideas ever. No, not at all, Diane. The lady that thinks outside the box permanently. So what we're going to do is we're going to blend. Now, when you're blending, just make sure that you get plenty of ink added to your cut and dry foam, your blending tool, your brush, whichever you're using. Don't go like that and expect to have a wonderful blend. Make sure that you really apply some ink to your cut and dry foam, and that really means priming your tools. I'm sorry, I've got to say it. I'm sorry. It means priming your tools. I've got to say it. It's the easiest thing. I'm glad my secret's safe, Alison. So what you need to do is make sure that your tools are primed beautifully. And then what you're going to do is just blend around your circular piece. And what you're going to do is you're going to start off the circular aperture. And what you can do then is you can use this aperture for another piece of artwork, because you get a stunning blend. What secret exactly? Oh, Lynn, bless. So what I want you to do is just blend around your circle, just blending, and you're blending off the circle. You're not going direct to paper, you're blending, so your blending starts here off the card. If you hadn't taped it down, you could move your card round. I've taped mine down just so that I don't blend over the edges. It means that I don't touch any ink around here. So I'm just applying that ink. And I'm just adding layers of the ink. Now, it's up to you whether you prefer to use brushes. Now, if you use a blending brush, you will get a softer blend. I don't want that this time. I don't want a really light blend. I want a really rich blend. And what I'm going to do now is blend out to the centre. Blend out to the centre so you get that yellowy green towards the centre. Just so it blends out. Yes, take care. It is peeled paint, Jennifer. Yes, it's peeled paint, Distress Oxide ink. I'm going to be using the ink as well as the oxide. But what I'm doing is, now I'm not going to add any more ink. I'm just blending to the centre. And then what I want to do is just spritz this with water. Just give it a spritz with water. And that's why I've allowed it to, that's why I've taped it down. I've taped it down so that it doesn't seep underneath. What do you think about the new green oxide ink. I like it, Eugenie, but I like green anyway. And also it's nothing like Pine Needles. Pine Needles is more turquoise, so I like it. But horses for courses, everybody likes different things, don't we? We all like different things. So I'm just going to unplug my iPad. Oh. And just plug my heat tool in. Now, what I normally like to do, I was hoping for a wine colour. I'm sure he'll do another wine colour. I was waiting for another free. Another free? Another free? Is that another colour? Green, not free. I was thinking, what's Chris getting for free that I'm not? Why is my heat tool not working now? Oh, my heat tool stopped working. Can you believe it? I've had that heat tool for 20 years and my heat tool's just stopped working. It started smoking. Yeah, it's smoking. So we'll put that heat tool on one side because it's smoking. Fat fingers. Yes, so my heat tool's just given up the ghost. My heat tool has given up the ghost. Hopefully another online workshop. What is Yvonne? What's another online workshop? Which online workshop is Yvonne on about? Let me look down. I have got a spare. How did you guess, Dawn? I have got a spare. Just like, I'm terrible, Linda. I love all the distress inks anyway. But that's me. I like them. I use them, so I don't mind. I wanted a deep Cadbury purple. We always want something, don't we? There's always colours we all prefer. What you have to remember is if you're patient, these things might come. You never know, you might get a colour of your choice next time. That's what you have to think. I just love my Oxides, so I'm happy anyway. So it's fine by me. So I've just added this layer of colour and I'm just going to remove my low tack tape. I'm just removing my low tack tape. Oh no, I hope they don't come bin diving for this heat tool because it's not going to do much. It's completely kaput. I have had it 20 years though. I can't grumble, can I? 20 years for a heat tool is not really bad going, is it? Really, for a heat tool. So this is what we've started off with. This is what we've started off with. That's what we've got so far. Now, just giving you more ideas, If you didn't want to use the Pinecone and you wanted a different idea, the bird would sit beautifully in there for a clean and simple card. So just to give you another idea, if you wanted to create a simple card, it's low tack tape, the blue box. I forgot what it's called, which one it is. So if you wanted to, you could add the bird to there. So this is what this Facebook Live is about. Where do you get your low tack tape from? I got it from Amazon, Roz. I got it from Amazon. No problem, Margaret. Chris Creswell, please post what you make with it. What is Chris making? Oh, the new colour is arriving tomorrow. I think I've got the new colour coming as well. But this gives you another idea. What I'm trying to do for this Facebook Live is not give you one idea. The idea is I'm trying to give you several ideas so that you've got something to go away with. Ah, got you. Do another workshop with the green. Oh, we'll have to use it. Of course we'll have to use it, Yvonne. Of course we will. I'll do a Facebook Live or something. Of course we will. So if you wanted to use that bird, you could. You could also use this bird as well. Look how he sits in the circle. Look how the bird sits in the... That's it, Scotch removable tape. But just to give you another idea, if you wanted a clean and simple card, they've arrived, Chris, my pens have. I haven't opened them, but they've arrived. The idea is that's my treat when I've finished my prep for the new release. So you could have that as your idea. So the idea is that you've got several ideas from one Facebook Live. That's the whole point. What I'm going to do now is I want some green round the outside, but in little hit and misses. So yes, we are missing her terribly. Oh, bless. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the Pinecone. But what I'm trying to show you is that if you want to do a clean and simple design, then it gives you a clean and simple idea with the birds. So I'm going to use my Pinecone. Wait till you open them, gorgeous packaging. Oh, I can't wait because they're opaque, Chris. They're opaque. So what I'm doing is I'm adding a very tiny touch of the peeled paint, which you can't see. There's not much on there. And it's just a piece of acetate. And I'm just going to make sure there's no straight lines on that acetate. So I'm just messing with it with my finger, just so that I've got no straight lines on the acetate, because I don't want any straight lines to transfer onto my card blank. And what I want to do is first of all add a touch here and then touches to the outside of my card. And what you're going for here is less is more. You're not adding any more ink to this acetate. You're making do with what ink you've got on the acetate. So don't re-ink. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Chris. Thank you. So I love how we all work together. We all work together to see if we like things, and we all show different things. So that's what I love best about the group. So what I want you to do is not use any more ink. Literally use what you've got on your acetate. And I've hardly used. What pens have I got to add to Santa's list? I added some. Oh, mine's still in the box, Luke. Mine's still in the box. Mine is still in the box. I added some pens. They're opaque pens, opaque ones. So what you need to be with this is you need to be gentle and not heavy-handed. So what I'm trying to do is, let's be honest with each other. There are only so many techniques out there. And all of us might repeat the same technique. What I'm trying to do is show you different ways that I use the same techniques that 20 other thousand people also do. But what I'm trying to do is show you different concepts. The idea of my Facebook Lives, my workshops, is to give you different concepts. So it might not be a new technique, but you can always develop a new concept from those techniques. So like the tray I showed you, just because we've done all this before doesn't mean this is a new concept. It's a new concept. So even if you haven't got a new technique, you've got a new idea, a new concept, an idea is also a technique in a way. So it doesn't always have to be about techniques all the time. It can be about developing the same technique but with a different concept. So you want a very, very light touch. And what you want to do with the acetate is you need the acetate to have very little ink. Very little ink. You also want it to be the distress ink and not the oxide. And the reason for that is the distress ink is translucent. It doesn't have an opaque quality. Good evening, Belinda, or good afternoon. Hello, Belinda. Hope you're feeling a little bit better. Hello, Beverly. No problem, Belinda. Hope you feel better soon, Flower. So the idea is the distress ink gives a translucent. The washi does cover the tray beautifully, Chris. It really does, and it's so easy to use. And let's not beat around the bush. There are millions of washi tapes out there. So the only reason you'll be buying a washi tape is if you like it, if you can afford it, or if it's to your taste. You know, that's what you have to think about techniques, workshops. You might do a workshop with somebody and you look at it and think, well, that's nothing new. But it might be the idea that's new. It might be a new book idea. It might be a new card idea. It's also thinking about the concept that's gone into that workshop also as well. Little better because I saw the doctor, so I've got meds. Oh no, sorry to hear that, Belinda. Now, what I need you to remember is Tracy's waffled here. And the reason I've waffled is you get a better, oh bless you, Chris. You get a better finish if you allow it to dry naturally. So what colour of distress ink are you talking about, Tracy? I'm talking about peeled paint. I've used peeled paint, distress ink, and peeled paint, distress oxide ink. The oxide ink has got an opaque quality because it's a pigment dye fusion. Distress ink is slightly brighter because it's translucent and doesn't have the opaque quality and doesn't oxidize. This gives you a cloudy finish and this gives you a brighter finish. So that's the whole point. So it's like when we do the workshop on Friday, we'll be doing it in a different way. Nothing different to what anybody else is doing, but it's giving you a different concept. So you just need to dry this a little bit. Now, I'm a great believer in not drying the oxides. So I'm a great believer in allowing them to dry naturally. That's just a personal thing. It might not be your thing. That's fine. So you have to work with what works for you. And I will just lift this up to show the distress inks and the oxides. Yes, everybody's saying best wishes, Belinda. Absolutely, Yvonne. Workshops are about encouragement. They're also about spending time together. And exactly, Yvonne. Even if you know the technique, it's about taking it a little bit further. That's exactly what it's about. Exactly. So let me just show you here. You've got your oxide ink here that's all cloudy. So let me get my teacher's ruler out. You've got your oxide ink that's very cloudy here and your distress inks over the top here that are translucent. And it just gives you a lovely effect. Sorry, I'm now going to cough. I do apologise. Excuse me, sorry. Let's just bark like a dog, Tracy. That is just lovely sound. Let's make some space on the desk. So what I want to do now is I want to use my Pinecone stamp. I want to use my Pinecone stamp. Made meds in me now, so should improve. Hopefully that will help, Belinda. And what I want to do, what I always do, is when I get my stamp set, now I'm not going to rush this Facebook Live. I'm taking my time because, oh, thank you, Janet. How are you, Janet? What I want to do is I want to use the branch, but I don't want to use this part here. So sometimes before you place your stamp down, before you place this stamp down, just visualise where you're going to place it. Being really busy today and only just seen this, 6 p.m. is a good time for me too, but better late than never. Hello, Margaret. I hope the crochet is going well, all the knitting. So what you need to do is sometimes just think about your stamps. Don't just go straight in and plonk them down. Sometimes think about how you're going to move your stamps around before you place the stamp down. So what I'm going to do is I'm using the Pinecone Versifine Claire. I've got no room on this desk. No seeds. My friend used to take out the tomato and cucumber seeds. Hard to manage. Oh, bless Belinda. We're sending Belinda all emotional now. It's nice though. That's what we're here for, Belinda. We're here to support each other and just to say that we're all here for each other. And I know sometimes people say that, oh, we're here for you, but we are really. That's what the group's about. The group, the Facebook Lives are not just about creating projects. They're being here for each other, especially when we're in lockdown and when we're not in lockdown as well. So that's what it's about. So I'm just giving this stamp a really good inking. And as always, I never rush the inking. I make sure that I take my time. And it doesn't matter too much about the Pinecone because I'm going to add a 3D element. And I'm going to add lots more layers. So it doesn't matter too much. So let me just make sure I haven't got that the little bit of the branch I don't want here. So just remove that with my finger. You could do it with a piece of kitchen roll as well if you wanted. And I always take my time just to decide where I want my pine cone. So for me, I think it's going to go there. I always take my time before I place it down. Hello, Kim. How are you, Flowey? Hello, Kim. So I just take my time before I place everything down. Oh, you're having crafting withdrawals, Belinda. You'll get back to it, Belinda, in your own time. Don't rush it. It's your body's way of telling you you need the rest. That's all it is. It's your body's way of telling you need the rest. So I'm just lifting my acrylic block just to make sure I get a good, clean, crisp image. And it doesn't matter too much if I don't get a pristine image, because at the end of the day, I'm going to add a 3D element. Good evening, Jill. Good evening. So there we've got our pine cone. And if you wanted, you don't have to add all the layers if you don't want. So I'm just going to blot that. But you'll find that the brown isn't quite as smudgy as the black. So you don't have to worry too much with the brown. I'm a newbie to this live, so hi. Hello there, Stacey. You see, and that's a perfect example why you should always repeat techniques, because Stacey is a new lady and we should always repeat the techniques. I've just mainly been buying the Oxides. The inks are brighter. The inks are brighter. There's a place, but what you have to think about is your budgets. And what you also have to think about is, are you going to use it? If you're going to use it, then that's great. But that's what you have to think about. So welcome, Stacey. Welcome. So if you've got any questions, Stacey, please feel free to ask any questions. So what I've got now is I'm going to add more layers to my design. This is going to go here, but I need to colour it a little bit. So I'm going to colour it. But first of all, when I was creating this card... Hello, Katie. I just saw... Hello, Cheryl. Just waiting for my pinecone stamp to arrive. Oh, I hope you enjoy it, Cheryl. And there you go. Beverly's from the southwest. Hello. So what I did when I was just designing this card, I had a look where my bird would sit. And I've got my cable right in the way of where I want to stamp. So what I was doing is, before I stamp anything, I have a look where my little bird can sit. I have to have repeated techniques, as I forget. There's nothing wrong with that, Karen. And I just think that I've heard a few people say when workshops are taught, not necessarily by me, by other creatives, they say, oh, well, I've done that technique. But sometimes you're paying for the concept, the idea, not just the techniques. So I just want to add this sparrow here. And I just thought he sat there really nicely. I thought he sat there nicely. My hubby said I have more than anyone could use in a lifetime. Oh, so do I. The Versifying Claire, Katie, is Pinecone. Everybody's answering for you. It's Pinecone. Can I ask what the trays are, Tracy? Correct, Gina. Tim Holtz. You see, you know me too well. I should be on commission for Tim Holtz. What do you think? I should be on commission. So what I'm going to do is I spend a little bit of time when I'm designing a card. I don't just chuck them together. I think about where they're going to sit. I think about it. I have Sophie's memory. Sophie's memory. Yeah, and we do forget them, Chris. But for me, the best bit for me is spending time in everybody's company. Hey up, Bernie. Hello there. How are you? Exactly, Diane. They never look the same. When you do a technique, Diane, it looks different to when I do a technique. But it's the concept of using that technique. It's thinking up the ideas. Thinking up ideas is not the easiest of things to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this sparrow. And what I want to do, can you see how much brown ink I've got on my desk here? Let me just remove that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this in black. But all as I'm doing is getting a little bit of the sparrow and a little bit of the text around the outside. If you only wanted the sparrow with nothing else, then you'd use your low tack tape and add your low tack tape to the areas that you don't want. So that's all you would do. And what you're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is just add my sparrow here, just so that the branch connects with the circle. And then I'm just going to allow it to sit. Hello, Anne. I have lockdown brain and memory. Well, my memory, I put the wrong date. I've asked a trolley for my birthday. Oh, what a good idea, Belinda. That's a lovely idea. So just for the newbies, I'm just allowing that ink to sit, because it's important when you've got a moist backdrop that still has moisture in there, that you allow that ink to sit. Allow it to absorb into your card. Oh, he's a lovely bird. Well, I'm bound to say that, aren't I? I'm bound to say he's a lovely bird. But what you're going to do, can you see that I wanted the bird to connect with the circle? So he looks like he's sitting on that circle. And I just think he's so lovely. Maybe I'm biased, but I think he's so lovely. Yes, Leslie, I hope you're all right, Leslie. So what I'm going to do now is stamp the bird again. What I'm going to do is stamp the bird again, and then I just want to do a little bit more explaining. Now, if you want, hello, Akina. If you wanted, you could leave it like that. So if you wanted, you could leave it like that, but I'm not. I'm going to add a 3D element, and then I just want to explain about the oxide and the inks. So just add this bird again. And then I just want to explain about adding the oxide inks and distress inks over the top. I just want to explain something. So we'll just stamp that, just so that we've got the bird once again. And there he is in black. And as I always say, just make sure it's, and I think, Chris, that makes a perfect point. When you're doing anybody's workshops, it's also about how things are placed on the card. When you're doing a Facebook Live, you're doing a card that you've already made. But before that, it might have taken 3 hours worth of thinking about how to place things. So things don't come together in 5 minutes. So I'm just blotting that ink. Now, what I want to explain is about the oxide, the Distress Peeled Paint ink, and the Distress Oxide Peeled Paint. If I went over this ink with the Distress Oxide, it's got an opaque element, so it would dull down the black. It would dull down the black. I don't want the black to be dulled down. You could, if you wanted, is add the colour first and then stamp afterwards. But I don't want to do that. I'm going to use the Distress ink, because the Distress ink is translucent and it won't affect. Good to know you're the same. So what I'm going to do is just add the Distress ink over my bird. Now, because it's translucent, it won't affect the ink. If I put the oxide over the top, you can do that if you want, and it then makes the black more toned down. It makes the black more toned down. So I'm just going to give that a dry. So you just need to be aware of that when you're using the Distress Oxide over the top. It will tone your black down. It will give it a cloudy appearance. Most of what I have was oxides. Yes, well, everybody's different. What I tend to do is pick and mix what colours I use the most. What colours I use the most. So I'm just adding some darker tones to that. And you can see it doesn't hide the inking because it's translucent. So, and the Distress ink is brighter in colour than the Distress Oxide. The Distress Oxide would tone down that black. Hello, Susan. How are you? Hello, Susan. Yes, I like the new green as well, Belinda. But then, let's be honest, Tracy likes all her inks anyway. So, I'm terrible anyway. You know what I'm like. It's useless saying to me about inks. I just buy them anyway. So what I'm going to do is I've not prepped, so I'm just going to cut this bird out because it doesn't take too long to cut out. And I think he looks ever so nice in that green colour. Maybe it's me, I love him in that green colour. what are we saying? I haven't got, that I can kind of do one in the oxide. You see, if you do it with the oxide ink, so if you stamp the bird, just stamp the bird, just this is for Serena, had them on pre-order. They should arrive soon then, Jill. So I've just stamped the bird again, and now I'll go over the top with the oxide. I'll go over the top with the oxide. I've still got distress ink on the top as well. Let me go over with the distress oxide, and then I will show you. Just bear with me a second. So just add the oxide over the top. And the oxide is darker, and in real life, it tones down the black. The black becomes grey. The black becomes grey. I could see using the coin too after you cut out the bird. The coin. The coin? I could see using the coin too after you cut out the bird. So it's actually, can you see you've got that cloudy appearance? And in real life, that black is now grey. It's not black. This is pure black. So I'm just going to cut that out. And also your opaque quality in the distress oxides will oxidize the more you leave it, and will cover some of that area up as well, which I'll show you as it dries. So I'm just cutting out my bird. You're very welcome, Serena. It does, in real life, it actually looks grey compared to the black. It actually looks grey. But also with your oxide, you get that other colour that's oxidising on the top and taking out some of that colour. You've got another second colour. This one, the distress ink, is brighter in real life and more yellowy than the distress ink. And when you're at home, if you test them together on a piece of card, but please remember what card you use is very important when you're using your inks. It can depend on the chalk content. A lot can depend on what card you're using. Oh, the postmark. I do beg your pardon. Yes, you could use the postmark. Yes. Sorry about that, Kay. Yes, I often use the postmark on its own as well. I often use the postmark on its own. I'm just going to cut into the feathers just so it looks a little bit more realistic. I'm just going to cut into the feathers. And then what I'm going to do is just add this over the top like this. I'm going to adhere him over the top. And it just takes a little bit of time just to add your layers. It's nice sometimes not just to rush the whole process, because sometimes when you rush the process, that's when you make a mess, and that's when you don't get a lovely result. You just have to be a little patient. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the brown and green vintage photo and peeled paint to colour my pine cone. But this time I'm going to use the oxides because I want it toned down a bit. Well, I don't throw anything away. No, you shouldn't throw anything away. I'm a great believer in not throwing much away. So I'm just adding a little bit of green to my pine cone as well, just where it touches the branches. So I'm just colouring the pine cone with a touch of the green and a touch of the... And then what I'm going to do is scrunch it up just so it's got a bit of life. Just so it's got a bit of life, and then we'll dry it. Hi, Lee. Because I wanted a different look. You can ink the card, then stamp if you wanted, but it gives a different look when you add the ink over the top. It gives a different look. It's sort of more layered on the top rather than in the background. So I wanted to ink the bird afterwards. And also it just means that I ink the bird and not the whole card area. but I wanted a different look. That's why I inked the bird afterwards. But it doesn't matter which way you do it. It's entirely up to you. Hello, Satu. It's entirely up to you. So I want my pine cone to have a little bit more life, and that's why I've bent it a little bit. I want it to have a little bit more life. And I'm not going to stick the whole thing down. I'm going to keep the top area adhered, but not the bottom area. Late to the party. Hello, Mal. Hello, Mal. So I'm just adding. And then I need my twigs. I just need my twigs. Have I got I've got a twig. I've already put a twig out. Because what will happen is this twig will go across here like this. But first of all, I just want to add a touch of red to the berries. So remove this out of the way, and I'm just going to use my polychromos. You need one twig for the top, Teresa, one twig for the top, and I'm going to add 2 twigs to the bottom here, like this. So you can adhere those twigs if you want. You could adhere those twigs if you want, but I'm going to do mine in a short while. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a touch of red with polychromos just to my berries. And if you use a nice sharp pencil, mine needs sharpening really. If you use a nice sharp pencil, then that pigment will be easily applied. And this pigment will go straight over the inks, no problem at all. So just add a touch of red. So we're going to add the twig afterwards, because we need to add the twig because I think that adds it a natural element. And what you need to do is when you're not crafting along, or you're making a piece for a family member, or you're making it for a friend, just take a bit of time colouring in. The twigs came from Amazon. The twigs came from Amazon because I ran out of twigs from round my garden. So the twigs are from Amazon. So I'm just adding 2 tones of the red. You might not see it on camera, but I'm just adding 2 tones of red just to give it a little bit of dimension. Just to give it a bit of dimension. And you're going to spend a lot more time colouring than I do. I just got my order from Finished Craft Shop and got Nesting Bird and Orchid. Oh, lovely, Satu. I hope you enjoy them. Yes, you can use your tree twigs. I normally use my tree twigs, but I've ran out of my tree twigs. Probably because I've done that many twigs. And Tina says, hi, Stacey. So I'm just adding the touches of red. And what you would do with your polychromos or your Inktense pencils, you would spend some time adding layers of that colour. You would spend some time adding layers. But in this card, the layering of the colours is not important because you're going to add that twig and lots of different elements. It's just a touch of that colour. That's all you're doing. So what I'm going to do now is take my sentiment from my Pinecone stamp set. Yes, you could use cinnamon sticks and it would smell beautiful. Yes, Linda, absolutely, and it would smell beautiful. So I'm just using There Is Beauty All Around Us just to stamp at the base of my card. And I'm going to use the brown Pinecone ink. I'm going to use the VersaFine Clair Pinecone. And I'm stamping this sentiment before I put the twigs on, just so that it doesn't get in the way. I have an enormous bag of cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon sticks would work beautifully. Cinnamon sticks would work beautifully. So I'm just going to add this sentiment to the base of the card. There is beauty all around us. And it doesn't need pressing very hard because it's just a sentiment. So you don't need to press within an inch of your life. There is beauty all around us. And I'm a great believer in that. There is beauty all around us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my twigs. And I'm just using a PVA glue just to add the twigs to the base of the bird. Just so that the stuck. So the bird looks like he's sitting on the twigs. And just add that. Now, obviously, you can leave yours clean and simple, or you can add as many different layers as you want. I love adding layers and textural elements. Oh, thank you, Janet. Thank you. I love adding the textural elements and the layers to my card. Now for me, I want a little bit more touches here. So I'm not going to finish there. I've got some berries and I'm going to do it in odd numbers. I've just lost the stamp I was going to use on my card. Oh no, Harriet. Is it on the floor? Is it on the floor? Perhaps it's on the floor. I like to take my time when I'm creating cards. I don't like to rush everything. So I like to think about the composition. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add these berries to my twig. Just so that I've got a few twigs sticking up. And don't think about it too much. Just add the berries. It just makes it more realistic. Whoever you're giving the card to, it looks like you've thought about them and they're well thought about. Yeah, it could be stuck at the back of something. That's what happens to me, Harriet. They're usually stuck at the back of something. Still haven't found the word nature. Oh, you're joking, Sarah. No. Oh, yeah. Like the Pinecone. Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah, like the ink. I'm still, oh, poor Harriet's lost all the thing that she's using. The berries are from Amazon and they come wired like this. And I can't have 4, I have to have 5. So they come with a bit of wire on like this, and it means I can wire them. I look for these things on purpose, you know, to make my designs interesting. The berries are from Amazon. I'll put a link up in the Facebook Live later. And you need to mess with your berries so it looks more realistic. You can't have them all straight. So you need them to be realistic. And then what you do is you use a bit of heavy body gel. And I'm just going to use my finger. Sometimes they do stick to other plastic things. I'm just going to use my finger. And for the first time ever, it doesn't matter how much glue sticks out. It really doesn't matter. In fact, it's better if some of the glue does splodge out. So if some of the glue splodges out, that's all the better. So just press that onto your card. Oh, I love you lot. You're all ace. I keep trying to do different things, Jill. Honestly, my head hurts. My head hurts thinking about different ideas for you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add little bits of PVA everywhere. Well, not everywhere. I am actually thinking about where I'm putting it. So just add little bits of PVA to your card, a little bit to the little sparrow as well. Just add a little bit to the sparrow as well. Just add a few little bits here and there. And don't think about where you're putting the glue. Don't think about it. Do it randomly so it isn't thought about. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sprinkle, well, I just put them all on. You're going to sprinkle your mica flakes onto the background. And what you do is you sprinkle more than you need. You sprinkle more than you need, and then you press them down into the glue. You press it down into the glue. It's better to do it this way because you can press it down into the glue. So press it down. Oh, thank you, Stacey. I like to be a bit different if I can, Stacey, because there's that many people out in, I've just put mica flakes in my mouth. There's that many people doing Facebook Lives. It's hard to remain different, to be fair. What you do then is you hold or you wait for them to dry completely and tip off the excess. You would wait for yours to dry. I'm doing this so you can see what you end up with. So just then put your flakes back into your pot. You would let yours dry. You would let yours dry. Don't tip it off until it's completely dry. Okay? And then what I want to do is just add another little detail. Where's my stamp? Where's my stamp? I just want to add another little detail. So I'm going to use this stamp here. And I'm just going to add this little vintage element here. And it's thinking about taking your time with your cards. Sometimes when you're making a card, you think, oh, that doesn't look really good. But then when you finish it, you think, oh, this is lovely. And I'm trying to just give you what ideas I possibly can before my brain gives up when I retire and there's no ideas left. So I'm trying to give as many ideas as possible. So what I'm going to do is just add this word vintage here. And I didn't add it before because I wanted to see where my space was. So I've just added the word vintage. No, they're not tonic, they're Tim Holtz. Tim Holtz Microflakes. James has got them at Stampers Grove. Distress Microflakes. Oh no, I use them loads now. I've nearly used my packet already. I'm terrible. I'm absolutely terrible. So what I want you to do is we'll bring in the original card. We'll bring in the original card. So let me bring in the original card because we haven't finished yet. Let's bring in the original. Move this out. Where can I put this now? I've got no workspace left. So bring in the original card. And all you want to do then Me too, Chris. Where's Chris? I'm surrounded by fields and woodlands, so I get my twigs not far from the door. How beautiful. What I want you to do then is just add a little embellishments. Can you see the little embellishments here, the little pine cones? So you've got the little pine cones, but just look inside the design. You've got the vintage, you've got the flakes, you've got these little pine cones that I've added. So I've added these little pine cones just here. 1, 2, 3. So what you need to do then is think about the inside of the card. You need to think about the inside of the card. So this time we're going to do it the opposite way round. We're going to take a little bit of the distress ink, which is the peeled paint distress ink. Do you think I don't stop? Oh, Stacey, I don't know. As I get older, I think I'm getting worse. So I'm just spritzing this, and I don't want any straight lines again. So just mess it up with your finger. And then this is the inside of the card. So just add a light touch. You don't want any more than that. This is supposed to be a suggestion. This is supposed to be the inside of the card, so you just want a suggestion. No, the pine cones are from Amazon. I'll put the links on my Facebook Live when I'm sitting downstairs. I'll put the links for you. They're just Amazon pine cone charms, and they weren't super expensive, so I'll add the link to my Facebook Live. So these are Amazon. So this is supposed to be a mere suggestion. So don't do it too much. Or the envelope, exactly, Chris. Decorate your envelope, decorate the inside of your card. Give everybody who always says that handmade cards, those people that are doubters about handmade cards, let's show them that handmade cards are truly beautiful, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do now is add my bird to the inside of my card. So I'm going to add this bird to the inside of my card. Just add it to the inside. And you're just adding it to that mere suggestion of colour. Yeah, the postman probably likes to see decorated envelopes. I absolutely agree. So just add this. Now just imagine if you're making cards in a rush for Christmas. Let's say you're making cards in a rush for Christmas and you can only make a simple card for somebody. Let's say you haven't got much time, you haven't got much product. This inside of the card could also be your actual card. So what you would do is you would take your sentiment that's on the front of the card, and this could also be a card in its own right. So what you could do then is get rid of that flake, add this here, like so. Don't just think about plonking it in the centre, because that's where everybody plonks it, in the centre. It doesn't have to be in the centre. So what you're doing then, the charms are from Amazon, Dawn. So this is going to be the inside of your card. And what you could do is, if I wanted, I could even just take a little bit. I'm not supposed to do this. You did not see me do this. Let me just have a look. Just add a little bit of the washi tape that says fly free to the inside of the card. Just to the inside. Bear with me a sec. And then you can add, this is the inside of the card is just as important, and I'm just going to add an index clip, but I'll do that after I've just added a little touch of the ink to the, what you call this, the washi tape. No problem, no problem. Enjoy your supper, Jane. What I'm going to do is just add a little bit of distress ink to my acetate, and then what I'm going to do is just add a bit to my washi tape, just so that it soaks in. That's better. It looks part of it now. Just make the sentiment, just so it looks like you've added, and I will lift it up and explain what I mean. Let me explain what I mean. I've just extended the green just so that it goes into the sentiment, just so that it looks like it's thought about. There's a little bit of green just going into the sentiment and going into the washi tape, just so it looks like you've thought about it. And then what I'm going to do is just add this to the inside of my card. Fiona, don't forget, Fiona, I've made it once. You haven't. I've made it once, Fiona. You haven't made the card once. So that's why sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to create a card. Don't forget, I've made it once, Fiona. That's why yours might not look the same. And also, you might go off in a different tangent, which is absolutely fine. So I'm going to add this to the inside of my card. Like so. I want you to think about giving something to somebody that's special. Just let's hold that up. No, that won't hold it up. I need something. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is just add an index clip to the inside of the washi tape, like so. So hopefully that's given you a few ideas. I gave you the idea with the tray. So the idea is, when you give somebody this card, you're giving them something that's made from the heart. You're giving them something special. So let's have a look. You've got the inside that looks just as nice as the outside. It's got a bit of the washi, a bit of the bird. It actually says fly free on the washi. It actually says fly free on the washi. And you've also got the sentiment. And then when you close, you've then got your card, which somebody will hopefully be pleased to receive. But I'm hoping that just gives you... Yes, I make my own card blanks, Beverly, out of A3 card. I find it cheaper. So hopefully that just gives you some ideas how to send something special to somebody, and maybe some ideas with your stamps that you've already got. Oh, thank you very much, Stacey. Thank you. So I hope you all enjoyed that. And I will be doing a few more Facebook Lives just to keep everybody going during the second lockdown. Now, for those of you that are joining me for the workshop this Friday, don't forget we start at 10 a.m. So the workshop's at 10 a.m. Friday, 10 a.m. Saturday, Sunday and Monday. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Susan. So that's what I'm hoping, that if they receive the card, they will be pleased with receiving it. And I just think the inside, the little... But if you didn't want to make them cards, you could make that as a card. And just sending a little notelet to somebody over Christmas saying, thinking about you, with just that on, you wouldn't need anything else, just to say thinking about you. And that wouldn't take you too long to do. And somebody would love to receive that. So I can't wait to see yours as well, Fiona. Oh, thank you, Margaret. And thank you all for joining me. And I'll see you all on Friday, those that are joining me. And hopefully I'll do another Facebook Live when I can think of another idea. Another weekend, Chris. Yay. More waffling from Tracy. So thank you very much. Thank you, Jill. So thank you, everybody, for watching. And that's another hour and 10 minutes gone. We're making, what we're making in the workshop. We're making, hang on. We're making, where have they gone? I've got to reach for them. They're quite big. We're making these, Dawn. No problem, Chris. See you soon. See you soon. You're very welcome, Lucy. That's what we're making, Dawn. They're 12 inches, so I can't fit them on the screen. They're 12 inches, so that's what we're making this Friday. So thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Diane. Yes, that's much easier to explain. Look in the group under announcements. Yes. Much easier to explain. That was too logical for me. So thank you very much, everybody. Oh, I'm glad you've learned something, Jill. Thank you. Thank you, Jane. So I shall see you all very soon, and I hope you all keep safe. I hope you all have a good couple of days now before the weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody. Bye. Not wrong with a waffle.